The United States is preparing for a possible escalation in West Asia. Reports suggest that thousands of additional American troops could soon be deployed to the region. Now, this could mark one of the most significant military buildups in recent months. At the center of this development is the United States Army's elite 82nd Airborne Division. Around 3,000 to 4,000 of its soldiers are expected to be sent to West Asia. These troops, currently based at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, are known for their rapid response capability. They can deploy anywhere in the world within 18 hours and are trained for high-risk operations, including parachute assaults that open the ground for larger military missions. These soldiers would join thousands of U.S. Marines already heading to the region aboard the USS Boxer, along with its Marine Expeditionary Unit and accompanying warships. Even before this reinforcement, there were roughly 50,000 U.S. troops stationed across West Asia. This new wave of deployments signals a clear shift towards greater military readiness. But what is driving this build-up? The answer lies in the ongoing conflict involving Iran, now completing 1 month. The situation has already had far-reaching consequences, from rising global oil prices to growing fears of wider instability. The United States, alongside Israel, has been carrying out extensive military operations against Iranian targets since late February. According to reports, over 9,000 targets inside Iran have been struck so far. The human cost is also rising. According to news agency Reuters, 13 U.S. troops have been killed and nearly 300 have been wounded. While most have returned to duty, some remain seriously injured. These numbers, though relatively limited compared to past wars, still underscore the risks of deeper involvement. At the same time, the conflict has not shown signs of slowing down. Airstrikes continue and tensions remain high across the region. And yet, even as military preparations intensify, there is also talk of diplomacy. US President Donald Trump has repeatedly suggested that a deal with Iran could be possible. In fact, he has publicly claimed that negotiations are moving in a positive direction. Let's listen now to what he said.
Everything we're doing, we're making great. The border is great. The military is great. We're having, by the way, a tremendous success, as you know, in Iran. We had one in Venezuela, and now we're having one in Iran. They have no Navy left. They have no Air Force left. They have no anti-aircraft equipment left, no radar left, no leaders left. The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly. You have no idea how badly they want to make a deal.
However, Iran has strongly denied these claims. A social media post by Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Baqir Kalibaf, stated, "No negotiations have been held with the US and fake news is used to manipulate the financial and oil markets." This sharp contradiction highlights the uncertainty surrounding the situation. While Washington hints at back-channel talks, Tehran insists there is no dialogue at all. So why does the US plan to send more troops now? According to reports, the Pentagon is exploring multiple options. These include securing the Strait of Hormuz, which is one of the world's most critical oil transit routes. A significant portion of global energy supplies passes through this narrow waterway, making it a vital economic lifeline. There are also discussions about deploying forces to Iran's Kurg Island, which handles around 90% of the country's oil exports. Any move in this direction would directly impact Iran's economic capabilities and could dramatically raise the stakes of the conflict. At this stage, officials say that no final decision has been made to send troops into Iranian territory. But building up forces in the region ensures that such an option remains open if needed. Interestingly, this military buildup comes just after President Trump paused earlier threats to strike Iranian power plants. He cited what he described as productive developments in talks with Iran. In fact, Trump even hinted at a significant concession from Iran linked to energy. Let's listen in to this exchange.
Why do you say what makes you trust? Do you think I trust them? I don't trust them.
Then why bother talking to them?
Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related, and it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people. The present, the gift they made to us was very significant, and they said they were going to do it, and it happened. And they're the only ones that could have done it. Jennifer?
Was it related to the Strait of Hormuz and the flow of...
Yeah, it was related to the flow and to the strait, yeah.
These remarks suggest that the Strait of Hormuz remains central to both the conflict and any potential negotiations. But even as diplomatic signals emerge, rhetoric from the Iranian side remains confrontational. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps responded by mocking President Trump using one of his own well-known phrases. Let's listen.
Hey Tehran, you are fired. You are familiar with this sentence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The central headquarters of Khatam al-Anbiya.
This mix of military escalation, political comments, and uncertain diplomacy shows how complex the current situation is. There is also a domestic angle within the United States. Public support for the Iran campaign appears to be weakening. A recent Reuters Ipsos poll shows that only 35% of Americans approve of the strikes, while 61% disapprove. This growing skepticism could influence how far the administration is willing to go. For President Trump, the stakes are particularly high. During his campaign, he had promised to avoid dragging the US into new conflicts in West Asia. Any decision to deploy ground troops, even in a limited role, could carry significant political risks. So, the US is not just preparing for war, it is preparing for multiple scenarios at once. A stronger military presence provides leverage in negotiations, ensures control over critical energy routes, and keeps options open if the conflict intensifies. At the same time, the mixed signals from both Washington and Tehran show that the path ahead remains uncertain. For now, the world is watching what happens next. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.